The holding cell reeked of ammonia and something Eva couldn't identify. Something that made her eyes water and her throat burn. She pressed herself against the cold metal wall, watching the massive figure across from her with equal parts terror and fascination. Liam sat in the opposite corner, his head tilted back against the barrier, eyes closed. Blood, dark red, unmistakably human, trickled from a gash above his eyebrow. They'd thrown him in here 3 hours ago, unconscious and bleeding. Eva had watched from her corner, afraid to approach, afraid to even breathe too loudly. The Crothy guards had been clear. Humans were cargo. Valuable, yes, but ultimately disposable if they caused trouble. You're staring, Liam said without opening his eyes. Eva jerked, startled. I thought you were unconscious. Was not anymore. His eyes opened startling green against the purple-tinged lighting of the cell. He studied her with the same intensity she'd been using on him. Eva Chen, right, from the mining colony on Titan. How do you saw your ID before they stripped our gear? He sat up straighter, wincing. Liam Cross, Earth Defense Force. Special Operations, Ava's breath caught EDF. That explained the scars. The way he moved even while injured, like a predator assessing its environment. They said all the EDF soldiers were killed in the raid. They were wrong. His smile was sharp, dangerous. They usually are. A metallic screech echoed through the corridor outside their cell. Eva flinched, but Liam's expression didn't change. He was listening, cataloging, planning. She could see it in the way his eyes tracked the sounds. How many guards have you counted? He asked quietly. 3, maybe 4. They rotate every 6 hours. Good. Smart. He nodded approvingly. How long have you been here? 2 days. They're taking us to the slave markets on Vraxis Prime. Her voice cracked on the last word. Everyone knew what happened at Vraxis Prime. The lucky ones were sold for manual labor. The unlucky ones. Eva pushed the thought away. Liam was quiet for a long moment, studying the energy barrier that sealed their cell. The faint blue shimmer was the only thing between them and the corridor beyond. That's not going to happen. What? We're getting out of here. He said it like it was already decided, like the universe had no choice but to comply. Eva laughed, a bitter, hopeless sound. How we're on a Crothy warship. No weapons, no tools. No, we have the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy. Liam interrupted, finally looking at her directly. We're human. Over the next several hours, Liam explained his plan. It was insane. Absolutely, completely insane. It relied on the Crothy underestimating them, on precise timing, and on Eva doing things she'd never imagined herself capable of. I can't fight like you, she protested. I'm an engineer, not a soldier. I don't need you to fight. Liam's expression softened slightly. I need you to think. That's what humans do best. We adapt, we improvise. The Crothy follow protocols. We break them. The next guard rotation came right on schedule. Eva stood near the barrier, swaying slightly, making herself look sick. It wasn't hard, the fear was real enough. The guard, massive Crothy with 4 arms and crystalline armor plates, peered in with its compound eyes. What's wrong with female? She needs water, Liam called out. She's dehydrating. The Crothy chittered, laughter maybe, or contempt. Cargo does not make demands. Dead cargo doesn't sell, Liam countered. Your captain won't be happy if you deliver a corpse to Vraxis. The guard hesitated. That was all Liam needed. When the barrier dropped and the guard stepped through, everything happened fast. Liam moved like lightning, no faster. He used the guard's own momentum against it, redirecting one of those massive arms into the energy barrier controls. Sparks flew. The Crothy howled. Eva did exactly what Liam had told her. She ran, not away toward the weapons locker Liam had spotted during their capture. Her hands shook as she activated the panel. The Crothy security codes were complex, but she was an engineer. Patterns were patterns, whether human or alien. Behind her, she heard the sickening crack of exoskeleton breaking. She didn't look back. The locker opened. Eva grabbed the first weapon she could identify, a plasma rifle. Too heavy, too awkward, but it would work. She turned just as Liam finished with the guard, breathing hard, his fists bloodied with purple ICHOR. Their eyes met across the corridor. Run, he said. Emergency pods, Deck 3. They ran. Alarms screamed through the ship. More guards poured into the corridors. But Liam moved like he knew the ship's layout by heart. Later, Eva would learn he'd memorized it from security feeds during their initial capture. 3 minutes of observation turned into a mental map. Humans always adapting. They reached the escape pods with 6 Crothy guards on their heels. Liam sealed the hatch, his fingers flying over alien controls with surprising familiarity. The pod began its launch sequence. 30 seconds, he said. Eva watched through the small viewport as the guards tried to override the door. 20 seconds. 10. The pod launched with a force that slammed her into the acceleration couch. Through the viewport, she watched the Crothy warship shrink, then explode in a brilliant flash of light. Fuel cell destabilization, Liam explained calmly. I triggered it when we passed engineering. Eva stared at him. You destroyed an entire warship. They shouldn't have taken human cargo. The pod drifted in silence for a moment. The adrenaline was fading, leaving Eva shaky and cold. They'd escaped. Impossibly, insanely, they'd escaped. "Hey," Liam said softly. When she looked at him, his expression had changed, vulnerable, almost shy. "There's something I need to say." "What?" "When we were planning the escape, I made myself a promise." He took a breath. "If we got out alive, I was going to ask you to marry me." Ava's brain short-circuited. "What?" "I know it's crazy. We barely know each other. But in that cell, planning with you, trusting you." He smiled, genuine and warm. "You're the bravest, smartest person I've ever met, and I don't want to waste another second of this life not being with you." Eva opened her mouth, closed it, looked at this impossible man who'd just destroyed a warship and proposed marriage in the same breath. "Ask me again when we're on solid ground," she finally said, smiling despite everything. "And maybe buy me dinner first." Liam laughed, a real laugh, full of relief and joy. "Deal." The pod's emergency beacon activated, sending their coordinates into the void. Somewhere, someone would find them. But for now, drifting in the darkness between stars, two humans who'd refused to be cargo, held hands and waited for rescue. Together,